Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Just kind of a crazy game for the Rangers yesterday. Man, they got a tremendous pitching performance from Jack Leiter. And then it just all kind of went to hell in a handbag. Your bats stopped, and your relief pitching wasn't great, and you end up losing the ball game 4-3. Leiter took a no-hitter into the seventh inning.
Got broken up with a home run.
Yeah. And so I was listening to the game, and Matt Hicks gave this stat. He said, this is from the Houston broadcasters. I guess they had texted him during the game. This is just crazy. But yesterday was the 17th that the Astros went into the seventh inning without scoring a run. And yet they win the ball game.
Yep, that's why they play all night.
I know, but I mean, isn't that kind of a stunning number that for a team that's only 46 games in?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it seems like a lot. But the long ball was what did you in. You gave up the home run. Leiter did, and then they got a 3-run home run off Robert Garcia in the 8th, and the Astros win 4-3. Of course, when you don't score any runs after the fourth inning, the Rangers didn't. They get all 3 of their runs in the fourth. It doesn't bode well.
No, it does not.
So
I just felt like listening to the game that the air was let out of the room after he gave up the hit, which again was a home run, and you hadn't put them away, and I was nervous about what was going to happen at that point, and sure enough, that's when I got to the softball game and wasn't listening anymore, and was unfortunately not shocked to look at my phone later and see that they had lost.
Leiter went 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 4, gave up the home run, but doesn't get the loss. Garcia gets the loss, and he deserved to get the loss because he gave up the 3-run home run. But
I mean, it's not unheard of, but it's very seldom you don't deserve to get the loss. It happens. You give up 1 run and pitch 8 innings, like 1 hit ball. You don't deserve to get
kind
that
of what's
loss.
been going on with Tyler Boudreau lately. Yeah.
But usually you gave up the runs that led to the loss.
Yeah, no,
A few exceptions.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you're not wrong on that.
You can also say the wins aren't always earned by the pitcher that gets credit for them.
Right.
If the offense scores 15 runs and you give up 12, you can still get the win.
Yeah, and that I thought that might be the case on Saturday with Zane Petty because I was wondering if he was going to get out of the 5th. He got out of the 5th and then actually went an additional inning, went 6 innings. Gave up just 1 hit, 1 run, walked 3, struck out 9, faced 24 batters through 99 pitches. And you guys were talking during your broadcast. You were wondering if he was on a pitch count. And do you think they kept going just because of the no hitter, or that he was just pitching so well and you wanted to get the win?
I think we were wrong in assuming he was on a pitch count.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, clearly, because he went 99. So now when's his next availability? Would it be Thursday or Friday next week if you needed him?
Depends how you used him. If you were just going to use him as a bullpen guy for 2 or 3 innings or something, he could probably pitch on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking. During that game because he had Tech had gotten 4 runs in the second and gotten a run in the third, and he was scuffling a little bit just because of the walks, and he hit a couple of batters, but got out of an inning. And I was thinking, man, if he doesn't get through 5, he's not going to get the win, and he really deserves it. And somebody's going to come in, they're going to get the win, and you're going to go.
Well, if he doesn't get through 5, he didn't really deserve it.
Well, I know, but I mean, but if he couldn't have gotten out of the 5th, and then somebody else comes in and throws 1 inning, then they get the win. I mean, that's just the way it is, right?
That's right. That's life as a starting pitcher. You have to go 5 unless you're preset on a pitch count or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was thinking about that and going, that'd be a good question for Jamie. Is that fair? That, if you went 4.
I think it is fair. And I mean, again, they have the exception with, if you're, on a pitch count, that you can still do it. But otherwise, no, I think it's fair. I think you should expect a starting pitcher to go 5 innings.
Okay.
That's their job.
I understand that's their job. Just sometimes you can get kind of a guy that comes in and, gets lucky and, throws an inning and, he gets the win. But your starter did the workhorse. He did the majority of the work. But in this particular case, Petty ends up going 6 and gives up just the 1 hit. And then Jacob Rogers and Trendon Parrish and Lucas Perko did the work to get you home. I mean, it got a little dicey there in the 7th with the 3 runs that they put up, and then Tech got a couple runs in their half of the 9th to give yourself some insurance runs, and then got out of it and get to go with a good taste in your mouth to leave Provo at least with 1.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Had Logan Hughes not hit the 2-run homer in the top of the 9th, I would have been very worried about the bottom of the 9th, because you clearly they had all the momentum at that point, and I thought that swing from Logan was huge. Mm-hmm. You had a 1-run lead at the time, so it didn't change the game, but the momentum was squarely on their side, and that in that situation has not gone well for you a lot this season. So I thought that was a huge swing by Hughes. Yeah,
and they had brought in a senior, and you were wondering if he was going to kind of have his moment in his last appearance there, but he had a moment. It just wasn't the one he was hoping for. Stone Cushing.
Stone.
The moment was, I gave up a 2-run home run in my last outing as a BYU Cougar, at least at home.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it happens that way. Not everything's sunshines and rainbows. Sometimes you got to take the bitter with the sweet.
You think Red Raiders fans need to hear that? It's not always sunshines and rainbows?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not.
We got pretty good dark clouds around here on occasion.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Time for this day in sports history. Today is Monday, May the 19th. Time for this day in sports history with Jeff McGuire.
1935, guys. The NFL adopts the annual college draft to begin in the 36th season.
Okay.
1956, Pittsburgh Pirates' Dale Long gets a 9th inning home run. It's his first home run in the next 8 straight games.
So he had 9 straight then?
No. He got one in the 9th today.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first of his 8 straight.
Oh, first of his 8 straight. Okay.
1973. The 98th Preakness was run. Secretariat wins in 1 minute and 54 seconds. The fastest Preakness race ever, which was recognized in 2012.
Half trip.
Why did it take till 2012 to recognize it?
I don't know that they went through and had all the times.
Gotcha.
They just knew who the winners were.
Mm.
But that's a guess.
I think that's probably a pretty good guess.
1984 Stanley Cup Final. Northlands Coliseum, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Wayne Gretzky scores twice as the Edmonton Oilers beat the New York Islanders 5-2 for a 4-1 series win. It's the Oilers' first Stanley Cup title. In 2018, the number 10 Texas Tech baseball team closed the regular season with a 7-3 victory over number 14 Oklahoma State. Red Raiders completed the sweep of the Cowboys after scoring 7 runs on 8 hits in the finale. Tech won the first two games of the set 9-4 and 14-6 to cap off a 3-0 weekend coming out of the finals break. And a year later, in 2019, the Red Raiders softball team stunned the LSU Tigers and grounded out a 5-4 win. Starter Erin Edmondson, retired the first 6 batters she faced and tossed her third 1-2-3 inning of the day in the top of the 5th. It is I Love Reese's Day.
Okay.
And National Cheese Souffle Day.
Any kind of Reese's? Reese's Pieces, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Reese's...
There is almost no combination of chocolate and peanut butter that you can put together that I would not enjoy.
Okay.
But it's not just I love Reese's Day. It's all of us love Reese's Day.
Okay. Jamie, do you love Reese's?
Absolutely.
Okay.
How can you not?
No, I'm with you. I love Reese's.
I think you're just kind of saying that to be in the in crowd.
No, I'm not saying that to be in the in crowd.
Happy birthday to Kevin Garnett, who's 49. Mario Chalmers is 39. Bill Lambier, 68. Peter Townsend is 80. Arch Manning, 76. And Archie Manning, not Arch. Archie Manning, 76. And Brandon Carr is 39. And on this day, 1967, one of the first major treaties designed to limit the spread of nuclear weapons goes into effect as the Soviet Union ratifies an agreement banning nuclear weapons from outer space. The United States, Great Britain, and several dozen other nations had already signed and or ratified the treaty. The agreement was yet another step toward limiting nuclear weapons. They'd already been eliminated use in Antarctica, and then before then, underwater tests. So now we add space to the places that you could not test nuclear weapons.
I think the Riskies really had to kind of think about that one. Took them a little while to jump on board.
Since we've got Congress involved, I'm not going to say anything goes quickly.
Okay.
And that's this day in sports history.
All right, time for your lucky local winning word, your local contest here where we give away cash to folks that stumble around our town just like you and me. And all you have to do is go to doubleTSportsNetwork.com, answer a couple of questions, and then enter this lucky local winning word for your chance to win $500. We'll give $500 away tomorrow. We'll also give it away on Thursday of this week and next week too, and on into the month of June. So we want to put some extra cash in your pocket. Your lucky local winning word. They're not so lucky right now, but maybe their fortunes will turn after they fired their manager over the weekend. Orioles is your local word here this morning at 6:50. Orioles, Orioles, Orioles. I think that's probably a misspelled word a lot.
Yeah, probably so.
You know, I mean, if you were just
that.
having to think about it, you know, Oreos. Not Oreos like the cookie, but Oreos. Now I can't say it.
Oreos? Oreos.
Oreos and
Orioles.
Orioles, yeah. It's close. It's close.
Must have been a heck of a weekend.
No,
at the Heinz house.
it really wasn't. It wasn't. It was pretty tame, actually.
Thinking we're the Yankees radio
Orioles.
station today.
No, yeah, I just
Getting stuck on Oreos and Orioles.
Orioles.
Chuck, do you have a thing about the AL East here?
No.
Is that what this is about?
Orioles.
If you were at my house, I think my 17-year-old would ask you if you were glitching.
Glitching. That's
Are you glitching right now?
Is that like a stumbling word? Glitching.
Something like that, yeah.
Glitching. Somebody says this. So go to doubleTSportsNetwork.com, enter in Orioles, and you could win $500 tomorrow. We'd love to have you win it, and you could join these cast of characters that have won $500. Estevan Velasquez, Michelle Alexander, Donna Martinez is a winner. Jody Sullivan. You don't get to win again. I'm just because I'm saying your name. And David Fullerton, who was our last winner. Okay. So if you've already gotten your money, great. If you haven't, I think it's on you. Unless the check hasn't been signed yet. Somebody said this. Pretty sure Chuck said Reese's Pizza instead of Reese's
He
Pieces.
did. He 100% did.
Okay.
Yes.
Reese's Pieces. Not Reese's
For those
Pizza.
of you out there that think I correct every single thing that Chuck says, there's a great example. I let that one go.
Okay.
He did say Reese's Pizza.
Reese's Pizza.
I would also say I don't know that I would turn down a Reese's Pizza.
It'd be hard.
Can you imagine how awesome that pizza could be?
I think I'm out.
Yeah, I think I'm out on that too. I think
God, no. You're missing this. You graham cracker crust because you got to do something different with it. You get the chocolate sauce and a peanut butter top on it. I think I'm in.
How about just a chocolate brownie with Reese's Pieces on it?
Yeah, that fits too, but that's not pizza.
Sounded like Chuck was spelling Oreos like the old Rolaids commercial. Rolaids. Somebody else says this. I like Oreos on my Reese's Pizza. Okay. Reese's Test. Do you order it in a blizzard like I do? No, I do not.
I think that's good.
I'm not opposed to it.
I usually go with the Snickers one, but...
Yeah, I usually go with the Oreo one. Oreo. Not the Orioles one. About an Oreo Blizzard and an Orioles
I do
cup.
not want an Orioles Blizzard. I want to make this very clear. An Orioles Blizzard, I'm out.
An Oreo Blizzard in an Orioles cup. They probably have those in Baltimore.
I'm making sure no one orders me a blizzarded up. I'm out, okay? We don't need to torture the bird that way.
Yeah.
Showalter might not be my favorite, but that doesn't mean I want to turn him into a blizzard.
We get this. The clouds are pretty dark in College Station this morning. That's too bad. I think that's some sarcasm there.
No, not so much.
Yeah.
That softball team, number one team in the country, eliminated. Baseball team started number one in the country, might not make a regional. There are dark clouds in College Station today.
Dark clouds.
Breaks your heart.
They beat Liberty 14-11 and then lost to Liberty in the championship game 6-5 yesterday. So the number one team is out. That's a tongue twister for you, Chuck, isn't it? That from Robert. Yes. There's a lot of... Doesn't take much for me to have a tongue twister this morning.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, and Chuck Heinz. Great to have you with us today. 9 o'clock, it'll be the end of the bench on 100.7 The Score, and Dan Patrick here on Double T 97.3. We'll probably get into the NBA a little bit. Not much of a Game 7 yesterday, Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Oklahoma City Thunder just roared. I mean, they had no problems.
Guess I got that one wrong.
Yeah, no problems with the Denver Nuggets. 125-93 was the final there. Okay. What did you make? I guess the New York Knickerbocker fans, I mean, clearly they have not had any joy, but they are experiencing joy right now after winning Friday over the Celtics, 119-81. They win the series 4-2, and you'd have thought they won the NBA championship by the way the fans reacted.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, swinging from the light posts. I mean, celebrating in the streets outside MSG. Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy. And again,
it has something to do with, like you said, that they haven't won a bunch, but also just kind of the New York City people that they are. A little bit different crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't see that from, well, maybe if the Jets actually won a playoff game for the first time in quite some time, but I mean, I think it had been 25 years since they won a series.
I mean, you guys know as a Yankee fan how much that I am, that I'm sensitive to folks who, can't stand how the Yankees get everything the Yankees do gets blown out of proportion or whatever. I get it. And, it gets talked about a lot because the Yankees are like the Cowboys. You either love them or you hate them. Okay. Me as a Yankee fan, I get annoyed with how a Yankees and Bills fan, I get annoyed with the love for the Jets or the Mets. Anything they ever do, it's like, oh my goodness, the world has changed. And throw in the Knicks too. The Knicks are winning. Oh, everything is great in the world. I mean, you know what? I mean, even you've talked about, I think it's good for the NBA. NBA seems like it's doing just fine without the Knicks.
Okay.
I mean, and the Jets, anytime they're good, oh, wow, the Jets are great, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the Mets, okay, all right. So this is your once every 15 years that you're a good team. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great, whatever, you know. I don't know, maybe we'll get to the point where it's like that with the Yankees since they don't win again anymore. So, you know, but like, I don't know. It just feels like those franchises, the Knicks included, it's just so. And I would say there's a little bit of that with the Cowboys just because everybody, again, they're the team that everybody has an opinion of, right? Mm-hmm. Right? So it's not just those franchises, but I feel like the Jets and Mets and Knicks, it's like, oh, gosh. And I don't really root against any of those teams.
Yeah.
I really don't. They just, everybody's so excited when they win.
Yeah. I mean, Knicks get to the conference finals for the first time in 25 years. They win a home playoff series. They win a playoff series on their home floor for the first time since 1999. 1999. I mean, and literally thousands of people went into the streets of New York.
And I feel like the same way that I always felt about the Cubs. Mm-hmm. Like, this is a sorry about you, okay? It's not like the Knicks and the Cubs have like been trying to piece it together with this short, tiny little payrolls. Okay.
Right. No, they've spent a lot of money.
All the resources in the world. The Cubs are lovable because they've been losers. They haven't been losers because they didn't have the money to spend. They've been losers because they've been terrible at their job.
Yeah, right.
Putting together a good team and winning.
You could say the same thing with the Knickerbockers.
Absolutely.
You know?
100%.
You know?
So I don't know what's lovable about that.
I don't know. I mean, just... It does seem like, though, I mean, that for all their money, it's crazy, with the exception of the Yankees. And I know the Yankees haven't won in quite some time, or at least won the World Series, and that's what the expectation is. But, you know,
it's really all that matters, Chuck.
It's right. That's really what matters. But it's just crazy that it's been so long since the Knicks have.
I mean, you
won.
throw the Giants into the mix now. The whole state's a state of mediocrity at best right now when it comes to sports teams.
Yeah.
That feels a little unfair for the Giants. They've been good in the past.
But they're horrible right now.
They're horrible now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the ebbs and flows of the NFL tend to make teams not stay at the top.
You'd have to help me out with the hockey teams, but who's carrying the water in that state right now? The Bills? Are they the ones that's the closest to a good team?
I don't think the Rangers are in the Eastern Conference playoffs. I could be wrong.
But I mean, have they won recently? Have any of those hockey teams won recently?
No, I mean you're not wrong. I mean the
Syracuse basketball is horrible.
Yankees were in the World Series last year.
They were, but they were.
I mean,
they were kind of in the World Series.
No, they were there. They got to participate.
What's wrong with saying the Thunder rolled?
Nothing. You missed the opportunity to say the Lightning strikes, too. It's Garth Brooks' song.
Okay, well, you know.
You have no idea, and it's fine.
Why are we talking about this?
The chat line conversation.
Oh. Okay.
There's nothing wrong.
We're bored with our other conversation.
No, I just...
Chuck had the perfect opportunity when he said the Thunder rolled to also say, and the Lightning strikes, if he was a Garth Brooks fan, but he's not. He has no idea what song I'm talking about, or the chat line.
I have any idea.
Yeah.
I am also not the one that brought it up.
This is from Syntax Inc. Right, I brought it up. I love Jamie's honesty. I think that was, and I don't think that's sarcasm there either, because there's a smiley face by that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I try.
You know, I
to be
think
honest.
I think you do. I think you're really good about that. Mm-hmm. That's one of your.
I don't do fake very well.
I know you don't.
Yeah.
You don't do fake at all, which is good. All right, Texas Tech softball, Jamie. They will play on Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday. You hope that they don't have to play on Saturday. But if they need to, they can. They'll play at...
if they lose the first game, I hope they do.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely. They'll take on the 5-seed Florida State in Tallahassee on Thursday night at 6 o'clock. And then Friday, it'll also be... on Friday, it'll be a 2 o'clock game, okay? And then Saturday, if necessary, Texas Tech and Florida State... they don't have that. That would be a 6 o'clock game on Saturday if necessary.
So 6 o'clock Thursday, 2 o'clock, and those are Central or Eastern times?
I believe these are Central times because it's on. That's how this is listed. So this would be our time. 6 o'clock on Thursday, 2 o'clock on Friday, and then 6 on Saturday. So 7 o'clock if you're there. Now here comes the. I hate even asking this question, but you've been waiting for it. Are you playing with house money now? You're waiting for it.
I was not waiting for it.
No, you knew.
I have higher expectations of you than you do.
Okay.
Explain to me how you were playing with house money.
Because you've gotten to a point where I think everybody felt like if you get to this point, that was the expectation to get to the Super Regional. I'm not sure that when you started the season,
we took the highest paid player in the country at $50,000 and moved it to $1.2 million. And brought a bunch of other great players to play with her, and all we wanted was a regional win.
Super.
All we wanted was a regional win.
Get to the Super.
Because if you're saying you're playing with house money, you don't care at this point.
No, I do care. No,
it doesn't matter if you win or lose.
No, I just was asking if you.
That may have been, Chuck. I mean, you're talking about a team that could win a national championship. I am sorry for being rude. That may have been the dumbest question you've ever asked me.
Wow, the dumbest.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to talk Big 12 football today, and we're going to focus on coaches. Okay? I'm asking for a top 3. You can put them in the order that you would like. I would like you to tell me the top 3 football coaches in the Big 12 pressure-wise.
Oh.
What 3 have the most pressure on them coming into the season in order? 1 being the one who has the top of the top, the most pressure on them.
Okay.
What 3 coaches in the Big 12? Now, who are the best?
Yeah.
Who has the most pressure?
Okay. Well, I think the most pressure for a coach this football season is right here in Lubbock, Texas, USA, because of what you've spent, because of what you've given in terms of assets, whether it's player or facility. So Joey McGuire to me is number 1. Number 2 on the list for me is Matt Gundy at not Matt Gundy.
What about his brother Mike?
Mike Gundy, yeah, his brother Mike, yeah, Mike Gundy, yeah.
You are glitching.
I am glitching today, Mike Gundy. And you know what maybe I got too much sleep last night. I had a nice little nap before I went to bed at a good time. So Mike Gundy's number 2 for me. And I think number 3 is that's really hard because I think it's a distant third is the Utah coach. Kyle Whittingham, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. That's thank you. Can't get Mike Gundy, but I can get Kyle Whittingham out of left field. Those are my 3. Joey McGuire, Mike Gundy. I think he is a somewhat distant second, and a very distant third is Kyle Whittingham. Jeff?
When I think of pressure, the first thing I think of is, in this type of question, I should say, is who's in trouble of losing their job? Mike Gundy, Mike Gundy, Mike Gundy. That is the 1, 2, 3 answer, and then we get to the rest of the list. Because I don't know if Gundy doesn't start 6-0, that they're going to be calling for his head, like, immediately. Now, I haven't looked at Oklahoma State's schedule, but they are not happy in Stillwater after last season. Number 2, I've got McGuire. Too much money has been spent. There's pressure to win. I don't think he's going to lose his job if you don't win the Big 12 this year, but having Big 12 expectations means that there is pressure on you. And I'm going to go Dave Aranda. I'm not sure Baylor's... I mean, I think he kind of got a reprieve last year after the Tech win and where they went afterwards at Baylor, but I don't know that they're 100% sold. I think they're like 65%, 70% sold. Start 0-4, start 1-3, whatever. Get off to a bad start in Big 12 play. That flips in a hurry.
Okay, so everybody has different pressure for different reasons. Okay, and I'm with Jeff in thinking that number one about keeping your job, and I think so. My first 2 are pretty simple for me. Mike Gundy is number 1 on my list at Oklahoma State. Number 2 on my list is Brent Brennan of Arizona.
Okay.
This guy came in with a 10-win team. They were terrible last year. They're picked near the bottom again this year. I would fear if they don't overachieve that he is probably going to lose his job. Okay, so I think those 2 are 1 and 2. I got a tie for 3rd. I'm cheating. And I have Coach McGuire and I have Deion Sanders on the list.
Oh, wow.
I think Deion Sanders has the national pressure of, is Deion a real coach, or was Deion living off of having a great quarterback and an elite player, the wide receiver, cornerback position that he kind of rode the coattails of? Can he do it without them? I think he can. Okay, I saw enough from Deion Sanders over the last 2 seasons to think that he can build a program. But I do feel like the national side of it that has made such a big deal out of Deion, that he has pressure to kind of live up to that, if that makes sense to you. And I think the Joey McGuire thing is not about, like you guys said very eloquently, it's not about him keeping his job. It's about, okay, you've been giving every opportunity to win and win big in this league.
I mean, you got every tool in the toolbox.
Yeah, so you absolutely have pressure there. So I don't think he's at the top of the top in the Big 12 conference, but I definitely feel like that he goes in. I feel like, again, just like Jeff said, it's about keeping your job. And I think Gundy and Brennan go into the season not knowing if they're going to have a job next year.
Somebody else agrees with Jeff on Dave Aranda, and that was a good choice, maybe better than my choice of Kyle Whittingham. If I had to do it over again, I might pick Aranda.
I had Whittingham 4th at Utah, so I don't know that you were far off on that.
Yeah. Somebody else has Gundy, although they call him Grundy, so I don't know if that was. I thought if that was real or not. The Utah coach and the Arizona coach. Somebody else brings up Sonny Dykes. I thought about Sonny Dykes at TCU because I think at some point in time he's going to have to show what he's made of.
Yeah, he would be on my top 5 probably.
You know.
Yep, I would agree with that one.
They did go 6-3 last year. They went 9-4 overall. So
it's crazy. I feel like whenever we talk about TCU last year and we talk about them going to the New Mexico Bowl and it not being a great season for them, and they went 9-4.
Yeah, we'd love 9-4. We went 8-5. They went 6-3 in the Big 12. So did Texas Tech. So did Baylor. Crazy. I mean, crazy that you would think that Aranda is in trouble after going 6-3. But I think Jeff made a good point about them not really knowing if they've got their guy there or not. And now the fact that they went 8-5 overall.
I'm looking at the Oklahoma State schedule. UT Martin, Oregon, Tulsa, Baylor, Arizona. First 5. if he's got 3 losses in his first 5, does Gundy make it to week 6?
Man, did they fire him in the middle of the season? I mean, he's a legendary
I don't
coach
disagree,
there.
but after last year, your only 2 wins, in theory, would be UT Martin and Tulsa.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Which statement are we
getting your sports day started the right way? I mean, it's in the rotation. I mean, generally speaking, that's good. But I mean, I feel like that I kind of just fell out of bed this morning, to get things started. But let's see if we can.
Did you hit your head?
No.
A lot would be explained.
Not today. Not today. I didn't hit my head. Nope. I haven't fallen in about 6 weeks. So there you go. Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Good morning with Jamie and Jeff. I'm Chuck. We come to you from the First United Bank studio here in downtown Lubbock. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to WT973.com for that, of the mobile app. The Visual Edge IT hotline is open too at 806-771-0973. Hey, just a little man helping man for those of you that go to Buddy Holly Hall for events. Probably some events coming up. We went and saw Chicago on Saturday night, the Lucky Lady and I. And because we're downtown, or I'm downtown every single day, I know that when you pull out onto Avenue Q and you're getting on the Sharpabahn there at Q and the Marcia Sharp, there's 2 lanes that turn left. So when you're leaving the Buddy Holly Hall and you're wanting to go home to Southwest Lubbock, and you're lined all the way back up to, Mac Davis Lane, just know that there's two lines that turn left there that can get you to go west onto the Marcia Sharp. So
it was a problem for you this weekend?
Well, I mean, it was just wasn't a problem. I mean, actually, it worked out really well for me because I went by about 25 cars. And lucky they say, "What do you do?" I'm like, "There's 2 lanes here. There's 2 lanes. I come here every day. I'm here like 7 times a day. There's 2 lanes. You just got to be careful. Make sure that nobody was that." So anyway, just wanted to let people know. Just kind of a little man helping man kind of deal. With the talent that's on the football roster, Chuck could coach them to 7 wins. Anything less than 10 wins, and I would start worrying if we have the right guy. 10 seems like a bar, but I don't know that if you don't get to 10, you have to worry if you have the right guy. I mean, 7 seems to be a number that makes you concerning. But even if you're 9-3 or 8-4, there might be some circumstances that led to that don't necessarily make you question your coaching staff. But 7, but I would like to think with the talent that's on the roster that I could put out the right lineup for, the 3 non-conference. I would think that I could get to 7.
I don't think Oregon State is as much of a gimme as
people think.
You do, yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm still going to hope that Coach McGuire coaches that one and not you.
Yeah, okay.
I think at 9-3 and possibly even 8-4, you're looking at circumstances. You can get away with saying, "Yeah, but the conference was loaded," or "You dealt with these injuries," or something like that.
Yeah.
Something crazy. At 7-5, I don't think I'm there.
Yeah, no, I get that.
At 7-5, not only have you brought in a really good roster of starters, but you should have really good depth too. Mm-hmm. And what's the scenario where 7-5 happens? You lose. If you lose 3 or 4 starters, I don't think 7-5 should happen.
Yeah,
I don't even care if one of them's at quarterback position, because you still have. I guess if you lost 3 quarterbacks.
3?
Yeah, I mean, the other guy, Wake Forest has started games
Let's not joke like that hasn't happened before around here.
Hey, and so do you think the Wake Forest guy is the number 2?
No.
You think?
Okay. I said 3.
Okay. No, I know you said 3, but I mean, but you think he's number 3?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And
and that's the only scenario if you lose all 3 of those quarterbacks.
And it's probably disparaging to say that I could coach them to 7 wins, because I don't know that I could coach them to 1 win, to be quite honest with you, because it's a job that's way harder than it looks.
I would definitely agree with that.
I'd like to think that I could. I'd like to think that I could put the headset on for the Arkansas Pine Bluff game, but I mean, even that game. You get down there and you start making decisions.
The way that you could win as a coach is take the headset off, let your coordinators coach, and you just stand there and clap.
Oh, that's good. I'm really good at that.
Just stand there and clap.
I'm really good at that.
Don't put the headset on and get in their way.
Don't make any decisions.
Just stand down there and clap.
Yeah. Offense coaches, offense.
High five. Maybe run out there and chest bump, whatever.
Give some POBs.
Yeah, that'll seeing broken collarbones all over the place now. Just cheer. Let's go. Let's go offense.
You're right.
And I'll even allow you to yell, "What are we doing?"
Okay.
Okay. If we jump off sides or something.
What are we doing?
Yeah. But don't put the headset on and get in the way of the assistant coaches that know.
I'll tell you what. I'll put my radio headset on and listen to Double T 97.3 and Brian Jensen and John Harris and Chris Lovell, because they'll be telling me what to do or what we should be doing. Or just calling the place, so that way I'll know what's going on.
I think they focus more on the officiating what they should be doing than what the coaches should be doing.
So at any rate, I don't think I could get them to 7 and 5.
I will also say the same thing about myself, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
The best thing that I would do would be stay out of the way.
I know you. I know you feel that way.
I do not consider myself smart enough to do that.
Okay, something to look for this week. Will Culpepper was on Thetford and Ashby on Saturday, and he is the head of the Double T Varsity Club. And they're going to announce Texas Tech at some point in time this week. It could be today, could be tomorrow. The next Hall of Fame class. Okay. So I have no idea. There was no hints or anything like that in terms of which sports or players or individuals would be represented, but just look for that to happen at some point in time this week. So it's now in the hands of the information people, and they'll release it when they're ready to release it. But it's going to come down the pike this week at some point in time. You would never see Chuck on the sideline. He'd come up about knee high on most of those guys. Yeah, you're probably right about that.
Big fellas down there.
There's some big fellas down there. My 5'8" 8-inch status probably would not stand out very much. Although I'd have a good suit on, Jamie. I'd have something that would stand out.
That's good.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.